Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to 30 Teens, 30 Dreams, Destination University. I'm your host, Dr. Cynthia Colon, founder of Dream College Academy and College Essay Bootcamp. If you are a college-bound teen or a champion of one, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So if you've been following, you know that we've been doing a special series the entire month of April. Every day, we've been interviewing a different senior in high school and finding out what they did right, what their misses were, and where they're headed to college to become a member of the class of 2025. So far, knock on wood, we have not repeated a single college, not a single day this month, which is pretty amazing. So will today be the time that we repeat? I don't know, but let's find out. Today, you're going to meet Audrey. Audrey hails from Southern California, and she is a drum major. This is our second drum major, female drum major of an award-winning marching band here in Santa Monica. She has applied to a number of colleges and she is California bound, so she's not going too far from home, but I don't know, I actually wanted to make it a secret for me too. So help me cheer her on. Before we get started, parents, if you're watching, please, if you do nothing else today, join us on our Facebook group, Destination YOUniversity, where all parents of college-bound teens gets the insider scoop. So with that said, I have 5 questions, and Audrey, are you ready to rock and roll?
Yes.
Oh, so excited. I haven't seen her a little bit, so I'm super excited. And Audrey just was telling me that she's back to school. So, okay, so you know the drill. I've got these 5 questions, and the first question is share with us sort of where you applied, the types of colleges you applied to, and how you came up with that list of colleges.
So I really wanted to stay in California. I did not think the weather adjustment would be something that I needed. So I mainly applied to UCs and privates in California. And I decided if I left California, it would have to be very worthwhile. So I applied to Ivies or near Ivies outside of California. And basically what I looked for is English. I needed a good English program, a good pre-med program because I'm interested in doing both, and music. So I looked for those 3 things, and from there I got UCs, I applied to USC, and then I applied to 3 Ivies, and then Rice, Duke, and Northwestern, which are kind of basically Ivies.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I love the term that you use, Ivies and near Ivies. I might have to adopt that. That's pretty cool. Now, I have to tell you, we have had a number of students who are STEM majors on the show this whole month, but I love that you're a little bit different, this English as a major. So how does one go about finding out which colleges have good English majors?
It took a lot of research. But I mean, there are a lot of colleges that have everything you need, and English is it's a very common major, and it's very helpful for anything that you want to study. So there are a lot of colleges that have great English programs. So it takes some looking, but it's really not that hard to find.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, every college is going to have an English major. And actually, most colleges are going to have pre-med, but I know that you are really, specific on finding a really good program. So, okay, fantastic. So, question number 2 is looking back on your high school career, what in preparation for this daunting and overwhelming process, what did you do right? What advice would you give to those who are watching, who are freshmen or sophomores in high school?
I would say the most important thing you can do is to start early. It's definitely helpful to start second semester, junior year, or over the summer because you have a lot of free time and you can just kind of figure out what's important to you, what you need to convey to the colleges, and that'll help you write your essays. So I think starting early, submitting your apps early, because I had a few friends who waited until 2 minutes beforehand and they were very stressed out. So please don't do that. I think just coming in very prepared and not rushing anything would be my best advice.
That's great advice. I hear stories about that all the time. The kids who do it 2 minutes before, and just gives me a heart attack.
Oh, it stresses me out. They're texting me, I'm gonna do it. No.
No, you and I are cut from the same cloth about being planners. And this process is too important. This application is too important to wait to the last minute and sort of just put in, just a little bit of time. So it takes a lot of time to get it right. So, okay, good advice for sure, starting early. The question number 3 is, what is your coolness factor? What is the thing that I think I know what your coolness factor is for me, what I think it is, but explain to the audience what you see as something that really makes you unique and stand out.
I think what makes me unique is I definitely focus on academics, but I also love music. And I'm super involved in everything music offered at my school. Especially, I'm proud of being drum major of our marching band. There's 150 members. And when I joined as a freshman, I definitely did not think that I would be leading that group, but it's been an incredible journey, just climbing the ranks of leadership. You have section leaders, but being drum major has been awesome, and you totally become the adult in the room. So I think it's been amazing.
Okay, so first of all, I don't know if I've told you, I think I did. My dad was the drum major in high school. And then was in a band afterwards and stuff. So I just love this. And as I mentioned, our very first guest on April 1st was Caroline. And she's also a female drum major. So am I correct or not correct? Like, being a female drum major is kind of different, right? Or
Yes.
maybe there are many more now, but am I right? It's kind of a unique thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's definitely less common.
For sure. And how many did you say are in the band?
150 approximately.
150. Okay, so if you're watching and listening to this, she leads 150 member band, which are basically her peers. And if adults are watching, you're like, it's hard enough to manage adults, much less teenagers, right? So I want you to think about that. And when we talk about coolness factor, and Audrey, maybe say a few words about this, like, you have to convey that this is your varsity sport. You don't play football or soccer and do club soccer or club, traveling softball, but this is really your thing. So share just a bit about how many hours a week, and especially before COVID, you were competing and all that. How many hours a week would you say you would put in for being in marching band?
Marching band alone, I would say 10 hours a week. And I think in general, probably 15 to 20 hours a week for music total. I was also in 4 ensembles at school, plus music clubs, plus teaching lessons, taking lessons. So yeah, I think that is also one thing that I could have done better, is just emphasize how much time I was away from a computer and away from my notes. So you definitely have to tell them you were balancing a lot of stuff, and it's not easy to do, especially as a freshman and sophomore when you're not quite used to high school yet. So I think that, yeah, music was definitely my varsity sport, and it definitely took up a lot of my time, but I think it was so worth it.
Oh, I just love that. Yes, that's definitely your coolness factor for sure. Oh, love hearing about female drum majors. Not one, but 2. We had 2. Okay, so question number 4 is any regrets that you have. So looking back, most teenagers have some kind of regret or something they think, oh, if I had to do it all over again, I don't wish this upon anyone to do it all over again, but if you had to do it all over again, what would you do different this time?
I do have one regret, and that is I would have wanted to have at least one school that I applied to that gave me an early decision that I was confident in getting into. So, you can look up their acceptance rates, what test scores. I think that would have really helped me, just knowing that I'm going to college early on, and kind of take the stress off. My friends did that, and I think it definitely eased some of their college application anxiety.
Okay, this is a great point. I don't know that anyone has mentioned this. So let me just sort of say a little bit more about that. So there are a number of ways that you can apply to college. There's rolling admission, there's early action, and early decision. There's sort of a number of different things, but the rolling admission are usually sort of the larger public institutions that after you turn it in, you get a decision sort of 3, 4, 5 weeks later. So some students can have a decision as early as Halloween, but really around Thanksgiving. And what Audrey is saying is that just alleviates the like, oh, someone wants me, I'm going somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it is good to have that. So that's a really good piece of advice. And there are a number of colleges that you can apply under the rolling admission or early action programs as well. So, okay, good point. Now, before we get to the like reveal in a second, share with us, if you don't mind, what you narrowed it down to, and sort of why, how you came to your decision. So sort of just walk us through maybe what the month has been like for you.
Okay, so I was admitted to 4 UCs, 2 international, and then waitlists at 2, and I got into a transfer program at USC. So most of my options were in state or in a different country. I decided that in a different country, especially knowing COVID is still a thing, would be a little much. So I narrowed it down to just the California schools. And then I really looked at courses. I did a lot of homework. I really looked at courses. I looked at past courses, watched some student things, asked current students. And also I looked at music programs because that is a huge part of my college experience that I'm planning for.
So good.
Yeah, I really narrowed it down to UC San Diego and then UC Santa Barbara. So yeah.
Okay, good. So English is your major and you wanted to make sure that you could do pre-med. And then what do you mean you looked at music? Like, did you look to see if, even though you're not a major, can you take courses, or what did you do about looking at music?
Well, there are some colleges that have smaller music programs. Sometimes it's only 4 majors. And so I'm not planning to major in music, but I think a minor in music or just taking classes for fun. I mean, it's gonna be hard. I need an outlet to just have fun and enjoy people. So I wanted something where I'd have a few options and just to play.
Oh, I love this. Oh, so good. So you really did your homework. And if you missed what she said earlier, she also did her homework on the front end where she was applying to, and also did her homework on the back end. So, okay, so since they both have the same colors, I was pretty safe in what I have here. But go ahead, drum roll, please. And I think we've got some family members who are going to join us. Share to the world where you are. Do you want to get them first, or do you want to say it first?
I can say it first.
Okay.
And you guys commit. I'll be going to University of California, Santa Barbara.
Woo! Congratulations! Come on in, Mom and Dad. Oh, yes. Look at this. Oh, Mom and Dad, my student's college bound. Oh, there's your sweatshirt. My God. Mom and Dad, what would you like to say to your daughter?
Oh my gosh, we're so proud of her. She knocked it out of the park. This was weird.
Crazy year.
We actually feel like Santa Barbara is such an amazing fit for so many reasons. So we're super excited for this journey. Could not be happier, could not be prouder.
Oh, of course you are. Dad, what would you like to say?
Well, I just want to tell her that it's really about her happiness, and she's put a lot of effort into finding her place, and by some divine intervention, I think she's found it, and it's going to be a great experience, and it's going to be what she thinks it's going to be. So we're very proud.
Oh, Santa Barbara is super lucky to have Audrey. I mean, honestly, look at the time and effort that you spend in, doing everything that you do, Audrey. And share a little bit, because I still don't get it. I get it confused. You are an English major, but you have this interest in medicine, and you want to basically sort of write the Grey's Anatomy book, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And you are going to go on and do exactly what you want to do. and you're going to make it happen for sure, wherever you are. So what would you like to say to your parents?
Oh, I think they've been really supportive. And whenever I needed them to read an essay, they were just right there, ready to give me help.
We read a lot of essays. I am now officially an editor.
Yeah, they helped a lot, and they made it a lot easier.
Well, I think the two of you had to get your English degree just through this process, right?
Oh my gosh.
Reading, Audrey, I know, wrote many, many essays through this process.
Essays written by someone who loves Shakespeare. So essays.
Real essays. Yeah, there were a lot of essays involved. I think I fear that I scare families when we share how many essays some of our students write. So would just say it was probably, I'm going to guess for you, it was north of 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll leave it at that. Okay.
You can reuse topics. There's a lot of ways of making it easier.
Yes. And remind me, did you leave camp with 6 essays or 8 essays?
6.
6 essays. Okay. And then you reuse. So we don't mean that she wrote 30 different and new from scratch essays. But you probably wrote, I'm going to guess, like 10 from scratch essays and then reused them a lot. So
yeah, at least.
God bless America. Okay, so hang tight, everyone. I'm going to do the wrap up here, and then we'll all say goodbye. Okay. I wanted to be surprised, you guys, because this was, I know I'm not supposed to have favorites, but this was one of my favorite kiddos. And don't you love the family? Oh my word. Okay, if this episode has in any way fueled your confidence or helped to build your dreams, please share this episode with 3 people in the next 30 minutes. And who doesn't love a good female drum major? Parents, if you're watching, please join us on Destination YOUniversity, where we give the insider scoop on that. And it's for anyone of any age. You can have your teen, preteen, if they're college bound, it's a place for you. I've also created a little mini video series for you to learn some strategies and behind the scenes truths. It's never too early. Parents, this might be just for you. You can introduce this to your teen a little bit later, but it's all about the 5 biggest mistakes students make in their application and the 4 most common topics that typically fall flat in an application. So you want to get that there. We're going to continue right to the bitter end of April, and you can follow us on Facebook or IGTV, and they'll be later posted on YouTube. We continue tomorrow, and tomorrow you're going to meet Laura. Laura is from New York, and she is the daughter of immigrant parents, and she is choosing where she's going to land, and you're going to just meet the entire family actually tomorrow. So she is just a treat. So I can't wait for you to meet Laura from New York. Special thanks to the whole team for making this happen. It takes a village for sure. Okay, everyone. You guys, I'm so proud of you, Audrey. I mean, honestly,
thank you.
Barbara, I'm going to send this video to the director of admission there, Lisa. She's going to just get a treat to see it. And we have not repeated a single college yet, so that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy, right? I mean, I just keep thinking like waiting for the other shoe to drop, but it hasn't happened. So anyway, Mom, Dad, thank you so much for honoring me to be just a part of her journey. And what a fantastic young woman you've raised. So bravo to you.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, wave everyone to everyone, and
Okay.